Hey, it's AAA. Welcome back to Vampire Therapist.
Uh-oh, something tells me I'm in for it tonight.
The truth is seldom unseen by you, my friend.
We gonna learn anything?
You face perhaps one of the most difficult challenges a therapist can face. The fact that you may not be able to help everyone. In truth, I have failed to help clients with this particular disposition many times.
Hey, I'm new at this. You're nigh on 3,000 years old. If you can't help them, how can I?
It is not guaranteed that we can help every client. To think we are powerless to help any is a cognitive distortion itself.
Oh, they changed
I
order.
believe you know it.
Yeah, all right. Control fallacy. I
Why'd
know.
they change order?
That's right. Here, take a look at this case file.
Theater feller, huh? I've known a few of them in my time. They can be a little, self-absorbed.
Let's see. Edmund Kean, 237, male, British. Highly influential Shakespearean stage actor during the Gregorian period, credited with more personal interpretation of a character as opposed to pantomime performance. Lived a tumultuous life on stage, dealing with alcoholism, sex scandals, and entitled behavior. Wishes to return to the stage, but expresses great anger at critiques who might review him poorly. He demands respect as the greatest actor the world has ever known.
He's looking for therapy because people don't like him, it says?
He is one of the most revered actors in all of history.
So he might have a few cognitive distortions.
A few. He may not recognize them, Samuel, but all you can do is present reality to him.
I do like that they're presenting us with a client where it's like, you might not be able to help them, but at least do your best.
He comes. Remember, I will give you whatever advice I can.
I hope I'm up to this.
What is this vampire I see before me?
Love the
I'm
look.
Sam Walls. I'm your new therapist.
Your dress, your bearing, your hat. You also are forgotten by time. Oh, how fortuitous! A kindred spirit, perhaps. A therapist should know pain, I say. Most excellent.
Freaking love him already.
Tarnation. Can't get a break with this here hat of mine.
No, it's perfect. Do not change a single thing. It gives me faith. Faith, my dear vampire, that you can help me.
Wish I could have organized these again now that
I'm
they
gonna
changed
do
order.
everything I can. I promise you that, amigo.
Do not do so lightly. Darkness dwells within my damned soul. You journey into my pain at your peril, and I cannot be your Virgil.
You're who now? Anyway, you wrote in your intake form that you're here because... mortals don't appreciate you, you said.
Indeed, and I fear they cannot. They must die to appreciate life. As mortals, they cannot ask the immortal questions. What is life for us who do not live? Why are we here? Why do we continue? What do we do when death has no meaning? And what a piece of work is vampire! How noble in stature, how infinite in life!
I'll indulge him.
In form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like a demon. In apprehension, how like a bat. Ah, the beauty of the night! And yet, to me, we are but the quintessence of dust.
Oh, I can choose to overindulge him.
All right, that's enough of that. Before we answer the question of why we're all here, why are you here? Well, that is, what exactly drove you to me, partner?
Oh, that. Well, a pustule of a theater historian I recently seduced and killed sprang the seeds of doubt in mine corpus.
Okay,
He
then.
was writing a biography of the great Edmund Kean, and I thought mayhap that I would favor him with a secret or two. He said my acting style would now be considered archaic.
Oh my god, it's what's his name from Futurama. It's, Calculon. It's Calculon, but a vampire.
I drank him to the last. I fear his cruel barb was sharper than my fangs. This embossed carbuncle of corrupted blood caused me, to doubt myself. Are all men such fools? Will I ever find my audience again? Or did they die long, long ago? Help me purge these mortal concerns from my mind, dear man.
We're always gonna have doubts, compadre. That's normal. But I think I can help you see things a little differently. So, he said your acting's out of date. Why don't you just tell me why it bothered you so much?
Because it's simply not possible. Acting became a noble craft entirely because of me. In truth, I am perfect.
Edmund states that he is perfect.
Because it...
Hold on a sec there.
I thought it was labeling because he was
Became
giving
a noble
himself a
craft
false
'cause of you?
label of perfect.
That's a lot of control over a whole skill.
Yes, impressive, isn't it? So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so lives mine art, and this gives life to thee.
Now, those are some pretty words. You make that up yourself?
It is the bard himself, boor.
Well, maybe he had something to do with the development of your craft then. It ain't been just you.
Well, naturally. But Shakespeare's works are simply words upon a page without me.
Compadre, I think you know he gave you a leg up in your career. You can share in the success a little.
Oh, there are celebrated actors in these times, yes. But any success they have is due to my beating the path for them to follow.
This is a special client. Remember that his distortions can be...
Oh, there are celebrated actors in these times.
Oh, I
yes.
see. He's disqualifying the positive
Saying
of
that
everyone
every
else.
actor's success comes straight from you.
Of course. Even the greatest among my art would have been consigned to obscurity had...
Every single one of them ain't had nothing of their own to give to the theater.
Well, I suppose one or two actors in the last 300 years have impressed me.
Well, don't you think they deserve their own success?
I suppose mortals are owed their 15 minutes of fame. One must have some pity for them. We are not monsters. But the actors of modern times, they are shallow, beggarly parrots. Parrots who screech the lines, but do they know them? Do they feel as we feel?
So you're saying modern actors are parrots?
Indeed. They are only mimics, and thus no better than a well-trained bird.
You don't think they're actually birds, do you?
My dear boy, they live such short lives. What else can they do but ape the words and actions of their forebears?
This is interesting, having such a self-absorbed client.
But when you call them birds, you're just labeling them that. You ain't giving them a fair shot.
Oh, come now. I was clearly employing a little dramatic license.
But we're here to talk about truth, right, compadre?
It is my gentle direction that takes the craft to higher echelons, and mine alone. Acting does not evolve without me.
You're saying
Control
only
fallacy.
you can change the course of acting?
It is demonstrably true. There is acting before Edmund Kean, and there is acting after Edmund Kean.
Edmund Kean. I'm like 95% sure that's a real person from history. Edmund Kean's real. I thought so. I'm like, why is this so... Yeah,
There's
Edmund
so
Kean
many
was a real
types of
dude.
acting out there. I mean, I remember when vaudeville came out, but I don't think you had anything to do with that.
Vaudeville? Oh, like so many American arts, an art of the grotesque. You plunge a dagger into the heart of subtlety.
So you didn't have nothing to do with vaudeville?
Oh, devils below, no.
Well, then you got a little control fallacy, hombre. Mortals got wills of their own.
Indeed. I suppose I don't want any responsibility for the things the Americans create anyway. These critics should honor me, as is my due.
You're saying critics should honor you. Well, what happens if they don't?
Then they are not doing their jobs properly. I do not ask for their laudations without cause, but if a so-called critic does not recognize my contributions to the theater, what do they know of the theater?
Maybe they just got different tastes.
Uneducated taste, perhaps.
If they are just uneducated, why should they appreciate you?
An interesting point. I suppose I cannot blame them.
It's clever.
Thou
Clever way to do
fiend.
that.
You are cruel indeed to beat a man when he is at his most vulnerable. I am here so you may help me cope with a world that has gone mad. Not so you might attack my every word.
I'm doing no such thing. All I'm doing is pointing out your reality. If we're gonna cope, we gotta be honest about the world.
Yep.
And I say that you are a villain. I come to you in desperate need, and you respond by mocking my desperation. Why would you do this to me? Do you not know what pain I am experiencing? Do you not know that I, as an actor, feel every sling and arrow more keenly? Art thou a therapist or a murderer that you would push me so to the brink? Do you want me to commit suicide?
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I want to help everyone who comes to me.
Samuel, a moment, please.
Andy, I got a real problem here. I think I'm not cut out for this work.
That's
First of
fine,
all,
it's good.
short statement. You
Yep.
will do what you will do, and that is all, Samuel. But look at the candles. What do you see?
The candles. Oh, they seem fine to me.
Look at the flames.
Wait a minute. They're getting higher, ain't they? What the hell's going on?
Your client is very powerful. He has his own unique skills earned through the ages. His skill in gaslighting is so intense that it affects the world around him.
That's
He is altering
hilarious.
reality to fit his distortions. Be watchful, Samuel. Do not
That's
let-
where the fire's going wild in the background.
How do I stop it?
Be persistent, and above all, be honest.
How
He does not
accurately of
control
him.
your reality.
I await your apology, sir.
I don't have anything to apologize for. All I did was point out some truths in the things you were saying. All I did was point out some truths in the things you were saying. Now, if that makes you angry, fella, I don't know what to tell you.
You wound me, but I am strong. I persist. I fight. I know my worth, sir. I have fought and died for my art. I shall take my business elsewhere, and vampire society shall hear.
Stop him, Samuel. It is not anger, but fear that drives him. Show him he has nothing to fear from you.
Now, I wasn't trying to rile you up none.
Yeah, she's
I
wrong.
bared my undead soul to you, and you treated me like a pincushion with your sharp pricks.
Pricks ain't got nothing to do with this, Edmund.
And now you seek to proposition me? Of course, it always goes like this. To you, I am a void. Nay, well, you are all alike, I say. Go on then, use me.
No,
You
what?
are losing him, Samuel. It is time to remember what makes you are not just a therapist, and you are not just a vampire. He is afraid, but you will conquer his fear.
Easy, boy, easy.
I shall not go easy. I shall.
Ain't nobody gonna hurt you. There's a good vampire.
A good vampire?
You're safe now. Ain't nobody here to hurt you or make you feel bad.
But
I'm your buddy. That's us. We're just buddies, ain't we?
buddies. Yes, a friend who wishes to help me.
You feeling better there, compadre?
I must confess that I am. Though I scarcely understand how.
Hey, well, that's just great. I want this to be a comfortable place for you.
That's so funny.
Yes, I do believe you. After all, your profession is in many ways similar to acting. It is no wonder that we find common ground.
How is therapy like acting?
It is the exploration of the soul, is it not? A journey into pain and truth. We see those pains and truths and reflect them onto the cruel world.
I ain't sure I quite see it like that, but it's true that reflecting is important. Kind of funny when we can't look in a mirror, huh?
One of death's cruel ironies. Thus must we see our reflections in the mortal audience instead.
You care a lot about what the mortals think about you.
Of course I do. Why should I give a fig about what we dusty old folk think, eh? Most of us are stuck in our relative pasts, if you'll pardon the offense.
But all them folks die. You're what, 300 years old?
Don't remind me. Yes, they die, but I cannot. I must not. If I do not exist in their hearts, there is only the purgatory of oblivion.
I can see why you're so worked up
Control
there, compadre.
fallacy.
That's a lot of responsibility you're putting on yourself.
Don't you see? My talent is a gift that must be
Well, there's that word again, must.
Must.
I'm telling you, man, an expectation is just a resentment waiting to happen. You can't control how the world's gonna move. Maybe people just like a different style of acting.
Of course I know the plebeians will never understand my earth. Of course I cannot control how they will respond.
I guess that's a start.
Unlike some vampires, I am not some blood-guzzling pat.
You calling most of our kind parasite?
I am, for that is what we are, if we are nothing else.
All right, let's just forget the part where you're insulting other vampires, myself included. If you say that you're a parasite if you don't do something, you're gonna be scared as hell of not doing that thing.
As an immortal, I aim for loftier goals.
Can you hit those goals if you're busy being afraid of turning into a parasite?
Ah, but your humble speech does belie the true wisdom beneath. I am indeed cruel to myself. I
It's kind of
died
cruel in general,
for
Edmund.
the stage, so I should live for it as well.
Well, why should you live for the stage?
What was my death worth if the stage does not matter?
But it's only you who's saying your death ain't worth something. Your shoulds are fatal. Ain't that a lot of pressure?
Perhaps. Though one might argue that all great actors must be forged in fire.
But is acting really the most important thing in the world?
I do find it funny that when he was gaslighting, the fire did actually kind of do a little raving in the background.
I shall assume that you jest. Vampire society is of no use to me. We are so few, and I cannot have an adoring crowd without a crowd.
Vampires ain't got nothing
Yep,
to
got
offer
it.
you.
Nothing they can give, no. Vampires do not understand the avant-garde.
Vampires have a lot to give. We got time to understand things mortals just can't. I think you're painting vampire society with a pretty broad brush. We got some redeeming values.
Oh, perhaps. But an understanding of... You know, I see what you are doing. The motivations of man are well known to me through my art.
And what am I doing?
You are mocking me.
There goes the fire again.
Forcing me
That's
to
such a
tax
neat
myself.
detail.
I know that this therapy business is all a ruse.
All I'm trying to do is help you, friend. Reality's a lot easier to deal with when you can accept it for what it is.
So, now you doubt my sanity. I shall not break. Oh, you shall see.
Gaslight
I know thy
gatekeep.
game, trickster. You wish to keep me in your debt. The more you think you are clever, but thy tongue outvenoms all the worms of the Nile. Well, what have you to say for yourself? Speak, that I might hear thy bile.
Here it is, tame him like a wild horse. That's the thing.
What?
I know you're upset and you're scared. I ain't gonna hurt you.
But you want to hurt me.
Good vampire. Ain't you sweet? Yeah, it's all right.
You really don't want to hurt me. You'll keep me safe.
We're safe. Ain't no place safer than right here. We're
That's
friends.
neat.
That's right. You're my buddy now. Just my pal Eddie.
In truth, I am oft left bereft of friendship.
And there's the fire calm. That is such a cool detail.
Vampires.
No, actors. But to sense one is not alone in all the world is a feeling to be cherished.
You ain't alone, I promise you. Whatever bad stuff we're living, someone else has lived it already.
'Tis so. Many geniuses were unappreciated in their time, with wonders of their craft consigned to history's dusty pages. Even the bard himself did struggle. There is some comfort in that.
Common nocturnality. We all got the same needs, man. Blood, safety, and sex.
And not all of us need that last one.
Indeed. I too am akin to the doomed Achilles, though my sore spot lies not so low, but twixt stem and stern.
Tain't my place to comment.
Oh, it seems the spot is no secret to you after all.
Maybe we can talk about that some more in your next session. I think you did pretty dang well today.
Yes. Yes, I suppose I did. I am rather good at therapy, aren't I?
If you're here and wanting to get better, yeah, I'd say that makes you pretty good at therapy.
Well, one mustn't rest on one's laurels, must one?
That's right, Eddie. Okay, I'll see you.
We shall vanquish my demons together. I cannot tarry.
Dang, what the hell was that?
One of the darker malignancies of the mind, dear Samuel.
You sure I'm up to this?
You were masterful, Samuel. You were able to take your knowledge about cognitive distortions and turn their definitions outward. And we must speak about this equine ability of yours in your next session.
Oh, that. Yeah, I learned a lot about myself through my horse.
Save it for our next session. Rest, Samuel. You have faced a great danger. Now it is time to drink and be merry with the Goths.
I'm not sure I'd call them merry, but they know how to cut loose. All right, Andy, I'll see you later.
Good night, Samuel. Rest in peace.
That was a fun session. That was a good session. Edmund is definitely an interesting character. Looking forward to more from him. Gonna have some more Gatorade.
Well, that was one of the weirdest experiences of my life.
Yep.
I probably want to forget that. I should go talk to Crimson.
If it isn't Sammy the Kid, plop that butt down. Got a shot prepared for you.
Well, thanks, Crimson. What is that? Bloody Mary?
No, a bloody Steve.
Of course it is. How's the crowd tonight?
You know, it's funny. They're a little on the weird side tonight. Must be a full moon out.
Oh, you ain't kidding. I just had my first therapy session with the strangest fella I ever met. The actor type. Used to be an international celebrity back when I was alive. Well, seems like fame's a nasty drug.
Like Andy says, people are people. Doesn't matter what era they're from. Feeling good about your session, though?
Yeah.
He was pretty confrontational, but he was happy to talk about himself at least. Andy says the real clients to worry about are the ones who've got nothing to say.
I get that. Being a human isn't easy. You gotta be pretty damn privileged to have no problems at all.
Well, this fella definitely has plenty of problems. I think he'll be keeping me busy.
It's a big world out there, cowboy. Full of vampires with no self-awareness.
Well, ain't that the truth? Well, here's to change then.
To change.
You, drinking Andy's blood there?
Andy's? Nuh-uh, this is a plain old mortal drink. You think anyone would want to drink that man's blood from a bottle when they can get it straight from the source?
I suppose they wouldn't.
I'm not proud to drink blood, Sam. Wouldn't be doing it out here.
I didn't mean to cause offense, ma'am.
Not your fault. I guess I shouldn't be offended.
Who's telling you that you shouldn't be offended, Crimson? I know this blood drinking stuff is complicated.
Damn right it is. Look, I have customers to deal with, but let me give you some advice, Buffalo Bill. No therapy in here. What happens at Eminat happens with consent. Got it?
All right, that's fair, and my sincere apologies. It won't happen again.
That's right.
Oh, dang it. I've gone and made myself unwelcome. I better get out of Crimson's way.
You.
Hello. Love that. That's cool.
Huh? Do I know you?
I know you. I've been watching you, vampire.
All right, you got me. Pretty sure I'm supposed to be keeping this stuff a secret, though.
Not in here. But you wouldn't be able to keep the secret from me anyway. I see everything. My name is Panoptibella. It means I see all, and I am beautiful. I saw you in the kink room with Reinhardt and Maxi, and now I see that you are thirsty and would like to drink.
Yep, that is so.
Come, drink from my neck. I wish to see what it is like.
Okay. Biting minigame.
Yes, I see now. That was very pleasant. Thank you. You will go to your coffin now to sleep.
Well, if you wanted to cuddle.
It is normal for vampires to enter a state of torpor after consuming the blood of another. I wish
Terrifying.
you an excellent torpor, vampire.
Thanks, I guess. I guess I'd better get some shut-eye. This night has gone on long enough.
That was so weird. That was a little terrifying. But okay. She exists. Oh. Come on. Don't crash on me or anything. There we go. I loved her headband, though.
Good evening, Samuel. I hope you are feeling well rested. I have a new client for you.
Yeah. I feel bad about this.
Another one? I think my caseload's starting to get a little crowded.
Worry not, my friend. I shall not unload all the world's cares onto you. I know how strongly this next client requires aid. She is a great deal older than most of the clients you've seen, and sometimes it is harder for the elderly to see reality.
Very true about our current world. That is very hard for the elderly to see reality.
It took me far too long to do so.
She as old as you are?
Not nearly. Thus, she should be more ready for change than I was. Take a look at her intake form.
Med B, maybe? Med something? 18... She's 1800 years old, as you do. From the Bronze Age. Elder vampire. Medi has lived mostly alone for the past 2 millennia. She grew up among wanton violence between Irish clan warlords and has since kept distance between herself and mortals. Valid. She now spends most of her time online, where she's become a streaming celebrity. I do not know what this means, but perhaps a younger vampire might. She has expressed frustration at the increasing demands of her followers. Be patient with the elderly.
She died young. Makes me wonder why I waited so long to kick the bucket. Could have left her nicer looking corpse.
Alas, death does not often allow us to have much choice in the matter.
Says here she doesn't leave home unless she has to.
Indeed, it is a puzzle, as elder vampires can often be.
I sure do hope I can help her.
You
This
will
one's
do
gonna be
your
interesting.
best, I know. Let me allow you some privacy. She comes.
And bat transition. Knockoff Valorant logo on the shirt.
Hey there, how do I say your name? Is it, Medbub? Medb?
Mev is my real name. Medby's just my screen name. You can call me Medi if you like.
Oh, mighty fine meeting you, Medi. I'm Sam.
Is that all you are?
I couldn't rightly say. I ain't no more or less than Sam.
You're cute, strange cowboy man.
I don't know that you should be calling your potential therapist cute, miss.
Not in a touching bodies way. I mean, you're more like a rabbit or a mouse. Oh, I want to dress you up in a little mouse onesie and watch you scurry about.
What the frick, Maddie?
You can keep your hat on and be a little cowboy mouse. Oh, I like that very much.
What the crap?
I'd keep you in a little cage and give you lots of cheese and, of course, a wheel to run on.
What the frick?
Can be my whiskery little pet.
What is the matter, Samuel?
I think I'm out of my depth here, Chief. I ain't keen to be anyone's pet.
Older vampires such as myself can sometimes be uncomfortable to be around. I believe this will be an excellent challenge in setting boundaries, Samuel. Explain to her your boundaries.
Yep.
You will be modeling positive behavior and saving yourself a little trouble.
Yeah, just a little.
All the more reason to be clear and polite right now. Good luck, Samuel.
You look distracted, little mouse.
All right, miss, before we keep going, I think we need to set a few boundaries.
Don't want to wear
First of all, I ain't gonna wear no onesie. I don't think I could find one that'd fit.
I could sew one for you. I would make the neck hole really big so that your funny hat would fit right through it.
Okay, well, maybe I wasn't being clear. I don't want to wear a onesie.
But it would make me happy.
Well, wouldn't make me happy, miss.
Fine. But I don't like it.
I don't eat cheese, you know that. We only drink blood anyway. Mortal food doesn't exactly agree with us.
But a mouse who doesn't eat cheese is hardly a mouse.
But I'm not a mouse.
Then why do you have twitchy whiskers?
I just like the way they look.
So do I. That's why I think you should eat some cheese.
Well,
So
I ain't gonna
weird.
take it or leave it.
You're very mean for a mouse.
This stuff about putting me in a cage and making me your pet are things you should be doing with a blood partner. Besides, I make the rules about my own body. If I don't want something, you gotta respect it or find a new therapist.
You don't want me to do things to your body?
You
No.
cut that out. I'm serious now.
Very well. Be that way.
bonk. I don't have a trip bonk, but bonk.
I think that about covers it.
Very well. It's a little boring. People usually let me do what I want to do to them.
Well, this is less boring then. It's something new.
I suppose you're right. It's very clever, strange cowboy man. May I still call you a mouse from time to time, though?
If it'll make you feel comfortable, I guess it ain't hurting me. But let's get to you and why you're here. Now, it said on your intake form that...
Yeah, she's
You're overworked, it said. You're not my first client with that problem. What line of work are you in?
I play video games.
Video games? Like Star Invaders?
No, silly. More like Overcharged 2 and Pension Impact. More of an FPS and RPG girl.
I don't know what them things are. I kind of figured video games were just a fad, like collecting ferns was in my time.
Video games are lots of fun. There's even one where you get to play a cowboy and kill bunches and bunches of people.
Red Dead Redemption.
Then you get to pretend you feel bad about it. But after that, you kill even more people.
Red Dead Redemption
That there
2.
might give me some flashbacks. But you're working by playing video games? How's that?
It's getting very
I
meta
stream on
here.
Twitch. I have millions and millions of followers there.
Wait just a gosh darn minute. People are paying to watch you pee?
No,
Of course not. That sort of thing would be on my Only Zealots page.
no,
If I could pee.
bad.
But you can't. Because I'm a vampire.
Bonk, 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 bonk. No, no piss
All right, you
kink
gotta walk me
here.
through this. What's all this RPG and FPS?
God damn it.
Role-playing games and first-person shooters.
Kinda dark to be playing games about the first person you ever shot. That ain't a good moment.
You're extra silly. It's a video game with a first-person perspective. It only looks as though you're shooting someone. I like the ones where there's lots and lots of blood. I end up feeling quite hungry.
Well, they still using
Terrifying.
corn syrup to look like blood? Never looked realistic to me.
They don't use corn syrup in video games. You're very funny.
I'm glad I'm funny, I guess. Let me ask you something else about these video games. What's streaming mean
Explain
if it ain't
streaming.
paying?
Streaming means to share your computer screen to the internet.
Like watching the cinema, only instead of people shooting each other, it's you answering emails?
Sort of. Mostly people just like to watch people shooting other people. Only it's little computer people that only look like people.
You know that expression, blank thing would kill a Victorian child? Explaining Twitch streaming, as it turns out, would not just kill a Victorian child, we're almost killing a cowboy.
Clear as mud. I got some more questions about them funny things you mentioned, though.
Oh god, do I ask about Only Zealots? I'd be a bad therapist if I didn't ask.
What's Only Zealots?
That's a very special website where my very special followers get to see me do naughty things for money.
You've been around a long while. Do you need money?
No, of course not. But I do like having mortal blood bags who will do anything for me. They're very useful.
This whole thing makes me feel old.
But you're only a baby vampire, strange cowboy man. I'm glad you're not the...
I had some more questions. Alright, I think I understand a little better. You're working pretty dang hard for all them followers. What do you need them for?
Lots of things. They pay my rent for me, they buy clothes and gifts for me, they dispose of all the bodies. And they let me kill them too. They're all so eager to die. Poor little lambs.
That's dark as
They're
hell.
like servants?
Servants, little sheep, whatever you'd like to call them.
You're not my servants or little sheep, Twitch viewers, regardless of
Well,
what
did you
Betty
stop and die
says.
for you?
Oh, naturally. Sometimes all I have to do is smile for them. They find it enchanting. And they quite like my breasts and vulva.
Betty,
Oh, I
Jesus.
see.
Does it make you uncomfortable to hear me say breasts and vulva?
Makes me uncomfortable a little bit.
I reckon I just wasn't expecting that level of candidness.
Breasts, vulva.
Is she just gonna keep
Come
saying
on
it?
now.
You're gonna get me in trouble with
It's
YouTube.
so much fun to watch your little whiskers twitch.
So, these followers of yours do a lot of work for you, huh?
But I have almost 100 million little sheep. It's rather difficult to manage them all and keep them happy.
I'm trying to think of what the... Yes, there are
Why do
technically
you need to
YouTubers
keep
with that
so
many
many
these
servants
days.
happy?
I need my sheep. If I don't have them, I'll have nothing.
Is it really true that if you don't have your followers, you won't have anything?
Hey, you got 10
And
distortions
other stuff
corrected in a
you're
row.
interested in?
Suppose I enjoy reading and video games. And I can do those things alone. There's also playing games with my body.
Oh, yep, there's that.
Which Americans don't do. You like to shoot people instead. Bang, pow.
That ain't always true. But let's get back to what you were saying.
If I don't make them all happy, they'll turn against me.
Oh, wait.
Control
That's one of
fallacy.
them double control fallacies.
A control fallacy? What is that, manling?
It's the idea that you either have complete control over something or no control over something. The idea that you can make everyone happy is something that ain't in anyone's power. And assuming you have no control and they'll all turn against you ain't true either.
That is true, I suppose. I can do things you couldn't dream of. But I won't show them to you because you're an American.
That is much appreciated, miss. And now about the stuff you were saying.
All I'll be is the lonely, crazy girl with a flat full of stinky corpses.
Let's ease off them labeling
Please.
terms. Don't go calling yourself crazy.
But I am crazy. And I know how strange I sound to these short-lived creatures.
Now this is making me think, like, if I... Who on Twitch is most likely to secretly be a mass-murdering vampire?
I reckon I might sound the same if I were around as long as you and seen some of the stuff you've seen. Besides, crazy ain't got any kind of real meaning. What's sane? You've been around a while, you know them definitions change all the time.
I suppose that's true. Don't think any of us are really sane.
I think that's a heck of a lot closer to the truth.
I just want to look at my body parts anyway. Don't have much else to share, it seems.
That's disqualifying positive.
Come on now, you've been around for nearly 2,000 years. How in the heck could you have nothing to offer? I'm sure you can
Welcome
tell me
back from
all
the
sorts of
doctor.
things about history and the places you've been to and the things you've done.
This has been a very weird client, so it's been good that
I
you've
talk
missed some
about
of it.
things I like. My followers abandon me. Fickle little bloodbags. You always like it when I show off, though.
That's a problem with your followers, not you. Don't go disqualifying the positive things about yourself just because they don't see them.
Very kind, Manling. If you were one of my followers, I might even let you live.
A very kind gesture, miss.
I can't help but think, though, I should make my little sheep happy. After all, they are willing to die for me.
Should
You say
statements.
you should keep your followers happy. Do you like it when they're happy?
Just
The art
because I
style in this
kill
game
my
is great.
bloodbags doesn't mean I wish to be cruel. After all, they're so cute when they die with smiles on their precious little faces.
Meddy's is terrifying. If you can't tell, she's a people just came in. She's a Twitch streamer vampire
I'm glad to
and
hear that, but here's
OnlyFans
the thing.
creator.
When you
Sorry,
say
Only
you
Zealots.
should make them happy, you turn it into a responsibility. If you got 100 million people you should please, that's pressure you don't need. Get what I'm saying?
You are too sweet, little mouse. Like a sugar mouse. Someone might try to eat you.
Heck, they already did. How do you think I turned into a vampire?
You make me seem very silly for worrying so much about my blood bags. Not a very good vampire, am I?
Well, what's
That's
a
not
good
nice to use.
vampire supposed to do?
My bloodfather used to tell me that we were supposed to be gods. Told me that we would rule all humanity. I imagine he'd be ever so disappointed in me.
Sounds like a not great
Good parents
person.
are always
Yeah.
complicated. They like continuing their legacies, but people ain't too good at being anything but themselves.
I wish someone would tell him that. He's a very bad listener.
Well, you should be proud of yourself for getting
I've been
away
loving
from
the
it.
raid train
I
as
know
well.
it ain't easy.
And this
Oh,
ended
I
up being a
didn't
great
leave him.
game to choose.
The druid sealed him away long ago. He'll slow our soul when he escapes. And there will be nothing we can do. Oh, it's gonna be ever so much blood.
I
Control
think we can
fallacy.
handle a vampire. There's a lot more of us now, and I bet the bastard ain't even heard of a gun.
You don't understand. He's a wizard.
The last I heard, wizards ain't bulletproof. Let's give ourselves a little credit. I ain't gonna worry too much about this fella. Besides, if he is coming back to kill us all, we only got so much time to enjoy, right? These dang followers of yours have got you stuck at home, though.
It's better this way. It's not safe outside.
Well, why do you say that?
Because there are bad people out there. They've tried to burn me, touch me, enslave me. They are cruel and horrible.
Black and white thinking. Not all people are awful and horrible and cruel.
I know you've been through some tough times, Mitty, and you got a hell of a lot of reasons to think people are all awful. But those experiences ain't the be-all and end-all. There's a lot of bad, a lot of good, and even more in between.
Maybe. But it's safer to assume that it's all bad. Mortals are very afraid, and when mortals are afraid, they are quite cruel.
Hey, you cats.
That's more of that all or
Welcome
nothing
in.
thinking. There's billions of people out there now, and more differences between each and every one of them than you'd expect.
But I don't need to endanger myself anymore. I have my sheep.
I'm sure we'll get to talking
She's
about
scary.
them real soon.
Cool but
I talk
scary.
about them now. They help me stay in my flat. If I stay in one place, I have power. Instead of them burning me, I can burn them. And touch them and enslave them.
That's not good. That's
With all
control
due respect,
fallacy.
miss, you're playing with sunshine here. Life is always going to change. That's the one thing we can be sure of. Your retreating from society is only going to make it harder to face the changes ahead.
Such as when the machines arrived.
Sounded very
What
Terminator
machines
there.
are you talking about?
The ones in the factories. The ones who made me leave the bog. I
Oh.
don't like that very much.
Wait, she was a vampiric Irish bog witch before becoming a Twitch streamer.
Well, look,
Incredible.
I don't want to upset you. You're here to handle the world a little better, and that means being honest about what might happen. That makes sense.
This client is very meta,
Yes.
and I love it.
Machines keep getting stronger. I should be ready for them.
All right. Well, let's keep talking.
They used to call me Calich Namona, the Witch of the Bogs. I like it that way. I like it when they think I'm a monster.
Labeling.
Hold on a sec, Mitty. I get that there's safety in people thinking you're some kind of monster. But what I can't abide is you calling yourself one. Names have power. You know what they used to call me?
Fuzzy McWhiskers. Scaly Tail Sam. Ooh, Scurrying Sam.
They called me Slaughterin' Sam. And as you might imagine, I didn't earn many friends with that name.
That's not very cute at all.
No, it ain't. I didn't feel cute neither. I felt like an evil bastard. And that ain't a good feeling.
I didn't say I liked being a monster. It just makes me feel safe.
Then let's find a way to help you feel safe without calling yourself a monster then, huh?
If I want to be safe, I should show them what a monster I really am from the safety of my lair.
Nah.
He believes there is only one course of action to.
If I want to be safe, I
No,
should...
He
oh,
believes there is
I,
only.
did, I keep missing the word should in
Show
there.
them what a monster you are.
I was doing
So
so
that
good. I
they
almost
know
got
to
I
stay
almost got a
away, of
perfect.
course.
And is that the only way people will stay away?
It's the way I know. I used to put severed heads outside my cottage, but the policemen don't like that very much.
So what if I said you should protect yourself by putting severed heads outside your place again?
I'd say you should learn otherwise. The police can be very mean.
That's what I mean. Should doesn't allow a lot of wiggle room. It might seem like it's just words, but them words can lock us up tighter in a bank vault. But let's keep talking.
Living alone is the life I know, anyway. Well, I've known for millennia. I can't survive in society now.
She's thinking she has no power. It's control fallacy. The negative?
We
No.
ancient vampires are very few. I can tell you with some certainty.
Living alone is the life I know, anyway.
Nope.
We ancient vampires.
Living alone is...
We ancient vampires.
Qualifying the positive?
You know,
Oh.
some
There you go.
1800 years old.
This is a very interesting
Than any
game.
Government on Earth. You've seen the world change in ways none of us could dream of. Hell, you basically
really
won
enjoying
the
it.
internet, and I can barely open up my Vmail program. You're way more capable than you're giving yourself credit for.
I suppose that's true. But I'm not very good with real-life people. Unless I'm eating them.
You're still disqualifying the positive by canceling out all them skills you got. You can use all that modern lingo I barely even heard of. You dab fan?
That was ages ago.
See what I'm saying?
You are very clever, sweetling. It is easy to forget how small and weak mortals are. The world is a big place full of things that might try to hurt me.
Well, before you face the world, why don't we start with your neighborhood? Let's start slow. Take a walk around your block, 15 minutes a day. Just spend a little time outside looking at the moon.
I suppose if anyone tries to hurt me, I should be able to kill them or enslave them. Very well, strange cowboy man. If anyone does kill me, I'll simply become a ghost. Then I can whisk myself up your bottom with a little ghost needle and poke at your guts.
I don't think it'll come to that. Just spend some time outside and see how you feel, and we'll talk again in a month. Sound good?
Very well. I suppose my followers outside must be eager to carry my coffin home. Promised I would eat them when we got there, so shouldn't keep them waiting. Farewell
Oh my
then,
God.
little mouse.
Hoo-wee!
Well done, my friend. You seem a little out of sorts. Are you quite all right?
She was something else.
Like so many of our kind, she simply struggles to adjust to a constantly changing world. I think you will be of great help to her. She clearly likes you.
That's what I'm afraid of.
You are under my protection while you are here, Samuel. I guarantee no ghosts will travel up your posterior. You have done excellent work tonight. Please, relax downstairs. Summer will be here before we know it, and the nights shall become short once again. Rest in peace, my friend.
I am absolutely loving this game. It's definitely going to be something we keep playing. But I'm probably going to pivot to something after when we get to our next start of day. Because we are nearing the end of the segment, and I don't want to get into a thing where I can't
Glad the
finish it in
kids here
time.
aren't glued to their little TVs. I wonder why that is. I'll bet Crimson knows.
Giddy up, little doggy.
I ain't heard that one in a while.
Truth is, I'm running out of cowboy terms. What can I get you, handsome?
How about a kind ear for my troubles?
You got a real old school way of seeing bartenders. But in this case, you're right. I am a good listener. Lay it on me.
I got this new client. Makes me feel old.
250-year-old man feels old, huh?
Yeah. But seriously, I thought I understood people, but she's from another time, like. I've been around a long time, and I ain't seen nothing quite like this internet. But my client lives there.
And you think you can't help her because you don't understand the internet?
I think we did help her a bit.
I reckon I can be of some aid. Just gotta figure out all this technology. My dial-up modem might not be up to today's standard.
Maybe you were right. You are ancient. But I'm glad you're feeling confident, cowboy. A vampire who can adapt is a mighty fine one.
Gosh.
Here's the thing, cowboy. Nobody understands the internet. I don't feel
Very
old
true.
yet, though. Still just glad to be alive, thanks to Andy's blood.
Oh, yeah?
I know you've been curious about why I've been drinking vampire blood. You don't have to pretend. I've got a rare blood cancer.
Oh.
Andy's blood is what's keeping me alive.
Well, it's so sad. It is like
I'm real
Morbius.
sorry.
I didn't say I was dying. I said I had cancer. Stop making that face. I'm just glad I found Andy. Don't think I was quite ready to die.
Well, I, for one, am glad you're sticking around, Crimson.
Oh god, it literally is like Morbius.
Kindly. So what'll it be, Sam? You ain't gonna dance?
No, I ain't gonna dance.
We're gonna force Sam to dance at some
You
point.
told me that story one day, cowboy. Here, have a little something I whipped up for Andy. Herbal blood tea.
No garlic, right?
No garlic.
Mighty kind of you. Maybe I'll take a nightcap. You have yourself a fine night, Crimson.
Adios, muchacho.
I think that's my last client for a while. My caseload's big enough. I'm starting to get overwhelmed. Maybe something from one of my books will inspire me. But then again, I could watch cartoons instead.
I was hoping for an internet option, but I am going to... Let's watch a cartoon.
I used to have a crush on Betty Boop, and I ain't ashamed.
Oh my god, freaking Betty Boop.
Well, they don't make them like they used to. I think that's enough action for one night. Time I got me some shut-eye. Good night, son.
Alrighty.
A fine evening to you, Samuel. How are you feeling tonight?
That is going to be where we call it for today on Vampire Therapist. Nice and saved up. We've met all 4 of our clients, gotten a good handle on the game. We will be revisiting this and playing more of it. That much I will guarantee you. I used a should. I used one of those definite statements. But yeah, I absolutely love that. Definitely the best, like, mental health structured game I've ever seen. It's very similar to an exercise I actually did when I was in, I was part of a PHP, partial hospitalization program, last time I was dealing with suicidality. And we would do, like, kind of exercises identifying our cognitive distortions. And they gamified that in a way that is entertaining. It's also, like, insightful, like you're kind of thinking about your own stuff as it's going on. It's excellently made game. Like, I'm gonna call it, I'm gonna say it, 2024's most unique game. Like, most unique game premise. Where you're going through and helping vampires adjust to vampire life and therapy and all that stuff. Amazing concept. And very, very well executed. I would gonna be continuing to play that for sure in the coming days and weeks, because I like to do a series on that.
Hello, what's happening? It's that man in black and green. Sometimes sweet and saccharine, sometimes he be as mad as me. Insanity, persistently